Hi everyone, welcome to our brand new channel, Buzzing Backyards. We're live from Hollywood, Florida. Today is March 6, 2025. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon. Beautiful day, sunny all day. It's about 75 degrees now, but the temperature will drop into the lower 50s in a few hours. So as I'm walking out to my backyard, I see the swarm of bees forming. It's a small swarm, but they are bundling up into a tree. It's a small wild lime tree. It's a plant that is very attractive for a lot of pollinators, especially big swallowtails and the giant swallowtails and a bunch of other butterflies. But it's time to hurry up because it's going to be sunset in very short time and we got to take care of those girls. Let's get to it. All right, so the clock has started. I have very short time. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wax a frame of foundation. I got that frame that has nothing. I got a couple more that do have a little bit of wax on it, and one of it has already a little bit of drawn comb. I'm getting my nuke out, cleaning it up, trying to remove some of the propolis, fitting those frames in there, getting me a little workstation where I have all my tools and all the equipment ready so I can get to it. All right, here we go. So I'm getting ready. I'm putting that basket. And I know, before you say anything, yeah, it does look nasty, but it's rust. And the only reason I'm not trying to paint it is because it's made of a bunch of tiny little holes. And if I was painting it, those little holes would get clogged. And there's a purpose to it, so the air can flow through. And it has a big purpose, especially for the swarms like that. But we can talk about that later. All right, so I can see some bees still flying. They're trying to meet the rest of the bees that formed that little ball on the tree. And I'm trying to make a game plan right here. I'm trying to figure out what I need to get, what I need to cut down so I can easily access them. There's a bunch of little thorns on those branches, and I don't want to get all caught up in there. And as I start cutting those branches, I mess up. I'm cutting the wrong part of the branch, or I'm holding the wrong part of the branch, and here they come down right under your eyes. At that moment, all I can think about is, was the queen inside that bowl of bees? Did she suffer any damage? And did any other bees suffer any damage? A lot of those little swarms are actually pretty gentle. When they are swarming, they're not really worried too much about what's going on around them. All right, so now I'm going to try to look for that queen. I start inspecting inside that bucket. I'm taking a glance at it, looking in there, trying to see if I see the queen, how those bees are reacting. I'm pulling out the pieces of the branches that I cut down, and I'm going to put them over the nuke, or inside the nuke actually, and so those bees can start checking out that new space for them. I keep on looking. I try to move that around, turn it around, look on the sides and the bottom. I cannot spot that queen. Not sure where she's at. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to set up that nude box with those frames in there. So that black frame and some plastic foundation is the one that you saw me rolling that wax on. I want to give them a head start on it. That other frame that I'm putting in right now does have some drone comb in it, Not a whole lot, but it does have a little bit. And that frame that I'm putting last does have just the beginning of some wax being drawn. So I'm hoping that I'm find that queen. It would be great. So as I continue looking into the box and watching those bees, I'm looking for the queen, and I can still not spot her. I'm gonna look again on that little piece of branch. A lot of the bees are still now inside that nuke box, but everywhere I look, I cannot see her. She might be there though. And friends, as you are watching this video, and when you would have seen the full content of it, let me know in the comments um, what you think. Was that helpful? Did you, as a new beekeeper, a hobbyist, a backyard beekeeper like me, did learn something today? Have you caught swarms before? Swarm season is coming, so you guys have to be ready. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Even if you guys are more in the north, I know in South Florida they always start early, and I was really not planning on catching any, but that swarm did come to my backyard. I did not have any choice, because if once again, if I was not doing what I'm doing right now, that swarm would have pretty much been in big trouble, and I'm not sure it would have made it through the night. Even though those bees down here are pretty resilient, I've seen that times and times over and over again. What I'm going to do next is rearrange a little bit those frames. I'm going to put against the wall the one that has the least wax on it. I'm going to put that plastic foundation next to it where I applied a lot of wax with that roller earlier. You saw me melting that wax earlier to put it on there. That next frame, the one in the middle, it's going to be the one that has some grown comb. And right there you see it. It's the in-hive frame feeder full of sugar water. It's a 1-1 sugar water. All right, so the idea now is to try to wrap this up. So we have some bees that are still in the branch. We do have bees that are still flying. Some of them made a little ball back in that tree. Could be because there's still smell of pheromones from earlier when they were all there. Could be because the queen is still not in the box, and maybe she flew back over there, and some of those girls followed back her back up there. Could be a few different reasons, but regardless, my goal is to catch as many as I can of those bees and bring them into that box before the night. Now, I will be closing this box pretty soon, and I will probably close it before I even catch that ball of bees that is still in the lime in the white lime tree. And if I'm lucky, I would have seen that queen bee. And a few reasons why I would love to see that queen. First, I want to know that she's there, that she's safe, that she's healthy, and I'm curious to see if she is marked. She might be marked, she might be unmarked. If she is marked, the color of the marking could be interesting. And also it could mean that she could be from one of my hives. I have a couple of hives around the corner, even though I highly doubt that she is one of my queen bees. I've checked, I inspected my boxes recently. I didn't see any signs of preparation of swarm. I didn't. There was no queen cups or queen cells, so it's very unlikely that she would be coming from around here. But if she is marked and she's not one of mine, she could be from a beekeeper from my area. There's a lot of beekeeper in Broward County. There's a lot of beekeepers in South Florida. So that'd be something interesting to do. So now what I'm doing is I'm making some space, and I'm getting ready to give one good shake. Here we go. I just did it, and those bees are now on the table.
And look at that
There is
beauty.
pretty much any one left inside that metal basket. And let's see how those girls are doing. So right now, what I'm seeing, I'm happy with it. Those bees start walking into the box. What you see at the entrance there, it's like a queen excluder for the entrance. And that's a little tool that you can put on the front of your beehive, actually your nuke box. Because when you catch a swarm and you start placing those bees into the box, you're not sure that they're not going to try to swarm back out as soon as they get a chance. Now, if you know you have the queen in there and you have that little queen excluder entrance in there in the front, the queen will not leave. If the queen doesn't leave, those bees will stay with her. Because you got to remember, a swarm is usually the older queen living with the oldest, most of the time the oldest bees, and flying away. This is something they do for the survival of the colony. Usually it's just something instinctive and natural that they do. And in the hive or the nest that they left, there's going to be a new queen. It might still be an egg being developed into a queen. It could already be a larva in a queen cup, or but this queen is the oldest one, and those bees left with her, they're not gonna leave her alone back. So if you know you have her and you have this in front of your nuke box, they're not gonna go anywhere. So as suspected, there's a little ball of bees back in that tree. Because that tree is what they know best. They know best since they took off from wherever they're coming from. There's still plenty of pheromones up there, probably. Could be the queen, like we just discussed. And some of those bees were still flying. Some didn't make it inside the box yet. So that's where they went back. So I do not want to shake these into the basket. I'm going to cut a little bit of those branches, and I'm going to try to bring those bees right in front of the hive, try to make sure that nobody's flying away, nobody's falling off. All I'm going to do is place this right in front of the hive and see how they react. I'm hoping and I'm guessing that they're just going to walk straight inside, but let's see.
I think I just saw Mama. I think I just saw her. And she's outside of this. Where's my plate? Ah. There she is. There she is, beauty. Yep. There she is. Right here. That is great news. So now, we just do this. I want to isolate her. And I want to mark her. It's here. And I messed up. Alright, so now that I know she's back in, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep in here. I'm not gonna try to mark her anymore, but I'm gonna do this. She just walked in, so I'm putting this to keep her in there. And now I want everybody to move in, and then later on tonight I'll come check over here if anybody came. There would be maybe a few of them because pheromones might be there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave around all those branches, those pieces of branches that the girls were on earlier. So some of the pheromone might still be there, and if they make it close enough to this, then they'll be close enough to the entry, and they will be able to get in here where she is. There it is. The active hive here. And here are those girls.
As you can tell, the hive right next to them is very active, very strong. So I did reduce the entry by putting that little piece of wood in front of the excluder. If you like that video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, it's been Buzzing Backyard.